Welcome to your Daily Writing Habit, episode number 247. If you're writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you're trying to finish a book that you've already started writing, or maybe you need help reaching more readers, you are in the right place. Good morning. I'm your host, Christine Whitmarsh, also known as Christine Inc., I-N-K, Christine-Inc., like the stuff you write with.com. Each day, I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that 3 things in particular have a huge impact on your success as an author, and they can turn someone who doesn't even really see themselves as an author into a published one. Those 3 things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's quote. Marketing is no longer about the stuff that you make, but about the stories you tell. Seth Godin, personal favorite author, awesome author for entrepreneurs, well beyond marketing. Anyway, speaking of being an entrepreneur, I have had my own business, some of you know this, since 2003. First, it started out as a full-service writing firm, and then in 2016, because I noticed that most of what I was doing and most of what I was kind of being valued for was in the realm of books. So 2016, I went all in on all things books, rebranded, and moved forward from there with only book-related services like ghostwriting and book coaching and all the things we talk about. So in that time, since 2003, being in business, I've obviously done quite a bit of networking and met quite a few business owners from many different industries and many different sized businesses along the way. And networking is super fun for me because personally, I love hearing people's stories, shockingly enough. What has struck me, though, from a marketing and branding standpoint, is how much time people seem to spend obsessing about how to best describe their products and services, in person, on their website, and in other places online. And in many cases, in the process of trying to be extremely clear and detailed about their product or service, they end up overcomplicating and over-explaining things. And believe me, yes, this is going towards a book-related message. So this has actually led to me sitting at those round tables, those of you in business that have been to the networking events, covered in the white linen tablecloths, nibbling away at my generic networking luncheon, the overly seasoned baked chicken, rice, and vegetable meals, listening to some very long-winded and confusing elevator pitches. I used to call these the fast food drive-through pitches, where the person thinks that since they only have 30 to 60 seconds in the spotlight, they need to list every single thing they do and all the reasons that you should hire them. So people that had complicated business, it just became kind of like a sprint of trying to list a lot of business services in 30 seconds, and everybody's eyes would roll back in their head trying to understand what was just said. Or in some cases, rather than the fast food drive-through pitches, you get the overly clever ones. So clever and entertaining, as a matter of fact, that I actually wouldn't know what it was that the person was selling. I was very entertained, but it's like, I actually don't know what you do for a living. So, by the way, this isn't limited to small business owners at networking luncheons either. We've even seen, high dollar TV commercials doing the same thing. You've seen those commercials where just even a few seconds in, 15, 30 seconds in, you're like, I still don't know what they're selling. So this is definitely a thing. Now, here's my point, and it's actually more of a question. If we've all been told over and over that it's story that connects with people best, and by this point, we all know that story is the most powerful way to convey information, why are we still rambling on and on with the factoids, clever marketing lines, and all the other things that are confusing people? This not only applies to business, but also to social media. Social media you're doing as an author about yourself and your book. And it also applies to any blocks you're experiencing while writing your book. See, I told you it had to do with books. Especially if you're a nonfiction author trying to communicate a particularly complicated idea or maybe even a sensitive idea. When in doubt, tell a story. I have found very few problems as a writer that I couldn't solve by using storytelling. So story is the answer, whether you're in business, and I know there are quite a few of my fellow entrepreneurs and business owners that listen to this, whether you're in business, you're on social media, if you're trying to make a point and you're stuck and you just every time you're writing a draft of your point, maybe you're doing copy for your website, it just seems confusing. How can you turn it into a story? Because people understand story. We are programmed as human beings to tell and listen to and process and understand and learn from story. When in doubt, story. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I'm helping you write and finish writing an awesome book full of awesome stories. And be sure and drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook and LinkedIn, Inc. Authors, and just say hello, but let us know how we can all support you. Great community of authors and publishing professionals and all sorts of folks who would love to help you finish your book or even get inspired to start it. People at all levels, even people that are thinking about writing a book. Inc. Authors on Facebook as well as LinkedIn. Until tomorrow, happy writing.